Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Camarda right here, right now, in the present of now. The topic of today is a super interesting topic. We're going to talk about a wonderful movie that I watched a couple of weeks ago, and totally kind of got me really good. And I want to share with you all this movie from Pixar animation. All those cartoons movie are totally amazing. Totally love cartoons because it's more like second message. There's always second message behind, and it really help you on a personal growth journey. So I totally advise to watch this movie called Soul from Pixar, and it's wonderful. But first of all, let's go down below. There's a link. Click down below the link. There's a subscribe um, landing page, so you can subscribe. We can talk more about all those really cool stuff and more tips for your personal growth journey to grow faster, better. So, Soul Pixar movie. It's on my one of the best movie on my list, and it's come from um, almost the same wave of Inside Out movie. I don't know if you ever see. If you ever see this movie, just let me know. And one of amazing movie how we work, how our human being work, and Inside Out are more about inside emotions. How can afford and control our emotion. This soul is more about afterlife, meaning of life, purpose in life, all those kind of super huge and heavy questions that sometimes we ask ourselves and we don't know how we can explain it. So Pixar animation and Disney create this movie to help understand better in their own way. And like cartoons are made for kids, I always say that, and it's impressive. But they put the really key on their marketing that create cartoons for kids, but kids cannot go on a movie theater, cannot go, don't know where a movie start, how can you know action all this movie. So they had a lot of meaning in adults and grown people. So cartoons most of the times more reflecting to adults for um, people like me and you. So I love watching cartoons movie, and this movie totally got me because talk about a lot of soul, a lot of what's your meaning of life. The quick story, I really advise to watch this movie. It's about this guy named Joy that is love jazz music, and if you are into music, you need, especially jazz, you need to watch this movie. um that always struggling on New York City competition to have a gig, have a lot of jobs into music. So he doing to pay bills work on teacher school music, and you see all those, you know, trying the best to teach kids about music, about the meaning, how can music can help yourself. But the kids, a lot of time they play a lot of different stuff, but then find other interacting things to do it. So they're not the best for um, purpose is life. It's not teaching other people, but play music, play jazz music. And every time he play a piano, he goes in his own world and he feels fulfilled. So his own life is on jazz, just based on jazz. And it's amazing how everybody around, and I feel totally into this, everybody around say, why you don't just give up on this dream, on this passion? Especially his mom, that it impersonated like a black mom, but it's relating a lot. Black moms are really strong and active moms, and remind me a lot of my mom, like softer Italian mom, really strong, really try to teach the best from their sons in a really strong way. It's amazing how can I can relate with my mom, and she always tell about you more focusing on um, get your dad's emotion and not for you. So why don't you give up on this passion and get a normal job, pay your bills, get a family, all like some or usual things that we all. But he didn't give up, but accidentally he died in an accident. So he went to this afterlife, and in some way, because he had a huge opportunity of gigs, find escape to way to don't die, and went to this pre-life section. It's an area, and it's pretty cool work. It's an area where all the little soul already have some kind of purpose and skills setting, but they went in this pre-life area to find their own spark. That's a really crucial point. They need to find their own spark before go to Earth and living their own life. So it's come back in our normal life and not in the movie too. We already have set up some unique skills, unique kind of setting, and we have those sparks, those things that we're really good into. We're really happy when we're doing it. We're our sparks. It's really hard to define the sparks, but that thing that light up you. So, but when we grew up, more older we became, a lot of stuff, we've been influenced by a lot of people, a lot of media, a lot of things that almost get a little bit disattached from those sparks, inner sparks. Let an example: the fantasy of a kid compared to the fantasy of a grown-up man. Grown-up don't have fantasy. If 40 years old woman, mom with kids in Korea, for example, doesn't have fantasy, have problems to afford every day, compared to a kids, they have all entire life is a vivid only own sparks, and everything is new and excited and amazing. So compare those two people. It's interesting how we growing up with a little bit detached from our own sparks. So all this movie, it's really interesting that then Joe, coming back to the movie, Joe get a second possibility. Those soul cannot find a spark, but in Joe's body, living like 40 minutes in planet Earth, and get really excited how simple things can be amazing and awesome, and we totally don't see it because we are submerged in all these problems or this everyday life problems with afford with no money, take kids to soccer team or go to school, all this kind of stuff that disattach their own sparks. So the amazing thing of the movie that Joey get a second chance, so didn't die, come back, live his dream, and on playing piano in a wonderful and famous band in New York City, jazz band. And finally the soul that was guided by Joe finally go to Earth and live his own life. So it's a wonderful movie, a lot of meaning behind, a lot of purpose, and a lot of second meaning, and it's pretty amazing. It got me really good, so that I want to share with you. It's a must watch for you because it kind of pause for a second all your problems and start to reflect about your life. What am I doing that it's connect to my spark before I died? All the experience that I'm doing right now, how can help and fulfill my setting, my own sparks? It's amazing how can this movie, it's a simple cartoons that have a lot of meaning inside and totally kind of make me reflect. Let's put it this way. So I hope you guys watch this movie next time when you have a chance. A lot of people most of the time are looking for something to watch, and most of the time they just go in those series or Netflix stuff that doesn't really give you something. In the end, it's only about telling a story. I totally advise to watch this movie because give you more than just the story. And hope you really enjoy this movie, and let me know what you think down below in the comments, on the social media, on emails, on all the interactive way we can connect with each other, because it's pretty cool. From me, Camarda, everything. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. See you, and of course, like always, see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.